I keep telling you, everyone goes for like Ricardo and like the slick, edgy one, but like
I think Ricardo's definitely like. Well, I don't know. We need like a more. I think. Who was the first one's name? Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Yeah.
Bartholomew's considered like the fan favorite.
Yeah.
But his arc wasn't as well written.
Oh no.
I think it's because like Bartholomew like has a more alternative look to him. Like he like dresses like a bit edgier, but like Big Jeremiah is like the most well written.
He's the most flamboyant in comparison to everyone else. Or
yeah.
Is there like a more flamboyant one?
I don't know. I don't think he's flamboyant. I think he's just very like sort of edgy and closed off, and he's like mean at first.
Yeah.
Because he's the bad boy. He's like, what do you want, loser?
Yeah.
When like you first meet Rich Evans, but like as you get to know him, that's when he softens up. He's like Shane from Stardew Valley, who's also the best one.
I have never played Stardew Valley.
Shane's the best one.
Okay.
Don't at me.
Okay.
I really hope John joins while we're
talking about it.
Nobody tell him that we're talking about a made-up game. Let's convince him that it's like a real game we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, what's the game gonna be called?
We shouldn't forget that there. Well,
Tusk
I think
Love.
he's gonna know when we say Rich Evans.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna steal from Critical Role and call it Tusk Love.
Tusk Love.
Because all the orcs have tusks. Hey, look, it's the edgy asshole.
Why does this guy look like that?
What's
The
up,
emo got
Inquisitor?
to him.
He looks like a fucking bum.
Jesus Christ, what is with his hair? Like, that's not a receding hairline. That looks like he took a razor and just went
look,
back.
the side of his head is metal.
Not this guy, your player. The player character, Rich Evans.
Rich Evans has, like, bolts in his head and has a scar. He can't grow hair there.
Not with that attitude.
What's that chemical that helps you grow hair and fights male pattern baldness?
I don't know anything about male pattern baldness.
Neither do I.
Also, this man looks like what happened if a steampunk cosplayer, like, got sent to an actual steampunk universe. Oh Christ, he's wearing a trench coat.
He's wearing a trench coat. He's also a wizard. So, like, in the 40k universe, there's a thing called the Warp, and the Warp is essentially a psychic dimension that all souls go to, and Psychers, the wizards, are able to tap into that.
Finally, the orcs are back. We can ascribe more personalities onto them. What other archetypes are there?
That orc is very angry. Look at.
There's a playboy archetype. He's the playboy.
Okay, that one that the big guy shooting, he's the playboy.
Okay, so he's like the most flamboyant. We find out he works
for the rich kid.
He's the rich kid.
His name is it's got to be something fancy, like Beauregard.
Beauregard.
His name is Beauregard. He's the rich guy. He always wears like very nice suits.
He wears the suit to school.
He wears a suit to Walmart. He wears a suit to Walmart. Well, no, I don't think he goes to Walmart. I think he only shops at like specialty stores.
Yeah.
He has like Gucci brand. He's all obsessed with brands.
Yeah, but like really cheap shit is like his guilty pleasure. Like you'll just see him at the dollar store in a tux, like getting a bunch of like scented erasers or some shit.
He's at the dollar store at the tux because he wants to get like the 2-for-1 iced tea in the fridge.
I think his whole thing is that like he comes from like an old money rich family. He's being set up by his parents to like date this other like rich girl, but he doesn't want to.
And they both don't like each other.
They both don't like each other, but he just wants to like. He loves like his rich stuff, but like a part of him wants to know what like a he doesn't. He at first he doesn't give a shit about like what a normal person's life is like. But by the end, like when he gets to know Rich Evans more, that's when he realizes like, oh, I could appreciate someone with like a normal life.
In fact, there's something more wholesome and heartfelt about being a normal person than being rich.
Yeah.
Money cannot buy you happiness, sort of shit.
The very last scene with him, he's like chopping wood. Like he's never done any manual labor in his life, but he's like outside chopping wood in like the summertime. And he's happy because he's like doing something with his bare hands.
So like in his route, like Rich Evans is like the outdoorsy type. Like one of like the first dates is us going on a hike.
Yeah.
But it starts off with a walk in the park, then we go on a hike.
Well, no, it should start off with like what the person is interested. Like at first, you stop off at some sort of like rich person place, and it's very much what like Beauregard is used to.
Yeah.
But then Rich Evans convinces him to do something that's a bit more out of his comfort zone.
We need to save this guy for later. We got this.
Oh, we gotta save him for later. So they go on a hike in the second one, and he's like, he goes there wearing like his fancy dress shoes, and he like gets his tux dirty. And like by the end, they get trapped in like the rain in like a cave, and they have to like camp out there.
We're going straight to cave.
They're going. Well, no, they go on a hike, and they like get sidetracked, and it starts to rain, and so they get like stranded for like a little bit, and so they're like, shit, we need to find somewhere so that I'm not cold in the rain.
And the phones get caught in water, so you can't use them.
And there's like a very romantic moment where they're both just like hiding in the cave.
And they're both wet, so like, and Beauregard's the type of guy who will like go to the library to look up esoteric facts, and he knows the fact that like, in order to stay warm while soaked, you need to take off all your clothes, let them dry, and huddle whoever's close to you.
And so they're just huddling together as they're looking out into the rain. And at the very beginning of the date, Beauregard was complaining about how like, ugh, I can't get my suit dirty. I couldn't stand if I got my suit dirty. I don't want to be out in this dirt. But by the very end of it, he's just covered in dirt and he's smiling.
And now he's in like Fruit of the Loom underwear, and you guys are staring outside of like this cave or something, and then eventually the rain subsides and it's like a perfect starry night.
At the very, like, near the end of the day, you're just huddling together. Like, you've been sort of, like, platonic at first. And then it seems like he's gonna lean in for the kiss.
Yep.
But then the girl that he's supposed to, like, get with ends up, like, finding them because she went out on, like, a search.
Yeah, because you guys were gone for so long, and your phones have been busted all day.
She, like, got a search party, and just before you're about to kiss, she's like, hey! You're here! I finally found you! And it's like, God damn it.
And then it asks if you want to pay $10 to continue.
Cool. Question. Is this one of those visual novels where, like, you get to choose your, what you say? Or, like, is there, like, the one or two decisions that determine the good or bad ending?
Brothers.
I think you have to choose what you say, and if you choose, like, enough of, like, the good options, then you get the good ending. If you keep choosing the bad option, it's a bad ending.
So it's kind of like a daddy dating simulator where you have like multiple opportunities to change or go after different guys, and you gain like stats for like your charisma, your passion, your intelligence, etc., etc.
I'm trying to think of what else. Like, I think there's opportunities to talk to all of them, and you could change your route soon, but like, it's more difficult to do that, if that makes sense. Like, if you want to get the good ending, you have to focus in on, like, one character, but you could, like, switch to another character.
Yeah.
But you're more likely to get the bad ending. And, like, the bad ending also, like, it doesn't just come with choosing the good results, because, like,
it's not having enough stats.
Well, also, what you think would be the good result would also, like, be the bad result. Like, if you, like, get, what is his name? What is his name again?
Big Jeremiah.
The big one. If you, like, get Big Jeremiah and talk about how much you love how big and strong Big Jeremiah is, he's not gonna like you because that's not, like, the kind of person he wants to be. He wants to be someone who's good at cooking. But if you talk about, like, oh, how much you want to know about, like, his, like, inner interests, that's, like, how you get him to actually like you.
Yeah. So, like, your decisions in talking to him change drastically.
Yeah.
How he feels about you. If you're just focused about like the external things, he doesn't care about you. It's like, oh, Rich Evans is just like all the other guys.
And like with Beauregard, if you like just try and like pander to him, just be like sucking up to him because he's a rich guy, he's not gonna like respect you enough to date you.
Yeah.
But if you kind of like push his buttons a little bit,
yeah, if you choose to like joke with him, sometimes insult him.
Like if you treat him like an equal, if you treat him like an equal, he's gonna respect you. But if you are just like, oh my god, you're so rich, haha, I love you so much, da 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 da, then like he's not gonna like you. He's just gonna see you as like another person who's sucking up to him because he's rich.
Yep. I love how we're talking about this as I'm slamming a dude with a fucking door shield.
We need to make this a game.
I don't know how to make games.
I don't know how to make games either.
I could probably make like a basic like text adventure game.
Someone has. I don't know how to write dialogue.
No, what you need to do is make a text adventure game, but like I assigned it to each orc, so just get like a screenshot of each dying orc. This is gonna be weird to edit.
This is gonna be very weird to edit.
Yeah, it's just like 40 minutes of
us making fucking orc fan fiction. No, at the end, like, the secret ending is that the actual Space Marines show up and exterminate the planet.
In the actual ending, all of the orcs die.
There's some horrid human-orc relations going on.
And then the Water Marines show up and kill all the Space Marines, because that's the good ending.
I'm trying to think if how many do we have? The bad boy?
We got the bad boy, we got the popular one.
We have, like, the big, strong one.
So, the best friend.
Oh, the best friend, the big, strong one. And we got the rich one. Do we need? Do
we have the party / hippie goer? No, that's like the weird boy, the guy with the skull and the staff.
Oh, is hippie really like a dating sim archetype?
No, but it's like there's it's the weird one.
Well, no. What we need is like the class president who's very like stuck up and serious.
Is that the guy with the staff, the one with the psychic powers we saw earlier?
Yes. He's the class president. He's very, like, stuck up and serious and very, like, no nonsense.
We're not paying attention to the game at all, but, like,
Wait, should I have been paying attention to the game? I'm paying attention to my game. Which is making up stories.
We're just making... listen, we went to the power source, we picked up the power source.
Oh, cool. And I'm glad we did that.
We did it. And we're covered in blood.
Cool. I wonder what the blood tastes like. Why is the blood gone? What the fuck?
It just melts off him. Don't worry about it.
Wow, he's talented.
So maybe he's still there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the class president is very like serious and like stuck up and is like kind of mean to you because like they think they're better than you.
Is
and
it
they
similar
think,
to the snob? I think we're leaning on
the snob. Well, no, because, like, with the rich kid, they're very, like, flamboyant and, like, charismatic. This one isn't charismatic. They're very, like, serious. They're very smart and serious.
Yeah, like, he's, like, the bone shaman, but, like, he has the glasses.
Yeah. He has glasses.
He pushes up his glasses by pushing the side with his palm.
When he pushes up his glasses, it does, like, the anime glasses thing where it's just white.
Exactly.
And, like, he doesn't like he doesn't like the rich kid because, like, he thinks the rich kid is, like, getting away with, like, just his money, like, buying good grades.
Yeah, what the president respects is intellect and influence.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of what their arc would be. Like, well, it has to be, like, a lesson. A lot of these lessons are just loosen up. I mean, I didn't either, but they need to exist because some people like that. They need to become a more well-rounded person. That's, like, the goal of each of these. Except for, like, Dylan, who's just kind of getting Rich Evans.
Yeah.
Well, no, Dylan's being able to become more, like...
You know who Dylan is? Dylan is Warren from,
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange.
I've never played Life is Strange.
He's, like, the best friend that's in love with the protagonist the whole time.
Yep, that is his arc. And he is also the obsessive stalker.
Oh god.
I thought it was the other one that's the obsessive stalker, the one from Before the Storm.
No, if you go into his locker, or when you go into like the not the dream sequence, but there's a sequence where you can like go into his locker, you find out he's a total creep and has pictures of you and other girls.
Oh really? Wow. I never got that.
I remember watching it in LP.
So what's the glasses character's name gonna be?
Leandros, the fucking lemon
Leandros?
asshole that we have in our party.
Leandros is very, like I said, he's very serious. He's the class president. He takes no shit.
He's always following the rules to a T.
Mm-hmm. I think he learned it from, like, his very strict parents that have a lot of expectations for him.
His dad's a businessman.
Yeah, his dad's, like, a businessman who expects him to take over for the family business. But he doesn't want to take over for the family business.
And, like, part of the arc is figuring out, like, how his dad and his mom got together, because who would actually date that asshole besides money and power?
Yeah. I think maybe it's him, like, reconnecting with, like, his culture.
What's his culture? Orc culture?
I don't know. Orc culture.
Yeah, like, the orc, because orc culture is fighting.
He's a city orc. He's a city orc, but, like, his mom comes from, like, a family of, like, orcs from, like, the country that, like, has a lot more, like, traditional values that sort of, like, kept them more grounded.
Yeah.
But he's been, like, separated from a lot of his orc culture because he's been forced into this, like, capitalistic business mindset.
Capitalistic, human, or probably elven mindset.
Yeah.
No, his mom's... Like, he's a half-orc. His mom's an elf.
Mm-hmm. And, like, that's where, like, he keeps... I think that's probably an insecurity for him. Like, he acts like he's, like, full orc, but he's not. And so it's all about, like, learning to embrace that side of him.
Yeah.
Like...
Because, like, he's not as big as anyone else. He's kind of scrawny. He looks more closer to Gretchen than Orc.
Yeah. He's just, like... And, like, it's all just learning to, like...
Is he short?
He's short. He's definitely short. He's the shortest orc, and, like, he's very...
The question is he shorter than Rich Evans?
I'll say yes. Rich Evans is pretty big, and I think we need to balance this out.
Yeah, we need some shorter people, because, like... I was about to call him Big Johnson. I forgot his name.
Big Jeremiah.
Big Jeremiah.
Big Jeremiah's the biggest. Then I think, the popular one, Ricardo, is the second tallest. And then I think he's around the same height as, what's the first one's name again?
I'm not keeping track of names.
Toby, what is the first one's name? What? The bad boy.
The bad boy's name? Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Yeah, then Bartholomew.
And then there's Rich Evans.
Then Rich Evans. Then Dylan. Then, what the fuck was his name again? The one that we're talking about now.
Leandros.
Then Leandros. He's more he's like around the height of like an average human.
Yeah, because orcs and elves.
Yeah. And so he's just like learning more about like elf culture and like realizing like a lot of like some of the issues he had are like more common with elves, and like he doesn't have to be like ashamed of that. It's a part of who he is, and like he should love like that part of himself. And I think a lot of like elven culture is like very much the opposite of like this capitalist mindset. I think we've moved past Warhammer. We're talking about Rich Evans and fucking like orc dating sims. I think we've moved past the accurate lore.
Listen, this thing could happen. If it happens and the 40k license is there, it probably happened. There's some fringe planet on the edge of the galaxy where this is happening, and no one really knows why.
In my fan fiction, the elves are very like cultured, and they love just togetherness, and it's very like community based. Like everyone supports each other. Whereas like his orc side,
so like wood elf shit in fantasy.
Yeah, like wood elves. But like whereas like his father is very like individual. You have to like build yourself up and learn to like support yourself, and like you deal with everything yourself. You deal with like you don't have issues, just like push them down. But like his elf side is like encouraging him to like express himself. Like, I don't think it's an orc thing to be, like, that individual, but, like, I think it is something he learned. It's, like, a mindset he learned from, like, his father's success as a businessman.
That makes sense.
Because not every orc is going to have that same mindset.
Yeah, some orcs are more clever.
And I think at first he's very, like, disrespectful of Big Jeremiah. And, like, he stays that way if you don't choose his arc. Like, one of the issues in, like, Big Jeremiah's arc is, like...
Some of the other orcs are huge assholes about it.
Yeah, like he doesn't respect.
What is the relationship scale between the other orcs? Big Jeremiah's friend is Damien? Not Damien. What is his name? Dylan? Is he cool with Dylan?
I think everyone's cool with Dylan. I think Dylan's the through line. I think Dylan introduces you to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your first day of war. And
war
Dylan
school.
like Yeah, Dylan goes around like introducing you to everyone he met in orientation.
Yeah, because you're the new guy. You're the human.
Yeah, you're the new guy. Just transferred.
No, it's like in Japanese dating sims where it's like, oh, the new guy who came to our school, he's from a different school.
I heard he killed someone.
I heard he killed someone.
Oh yeah, Dylan introduces you to everyone, and that's the through line. Everyone's friends with Dylan, or like everyone at least like tolerates and knows Dylan.
Okay, so Dylan's in the middle. Everyone knows or tolerates him.
Yeah, and that's how you meet all of them.
What is our star chart with like buddy relations between all the dating options? Like who's cool with Jeremiah besides Dylan?
I think Jeremiah is probably cool with Ricardo just because like they both fit in like the jock popularity archetype.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they know each other that well enough to really like respect each other, but I think they're both just like on the same soccer team, and so you'll sometimes like see them together.
No, like Big Jeremiah's on the football team and Ricardo's on the soccer team, so like they don't really interact, but they can respect each other.
Yeah.
When they're together in the gym playing dodgeball, it is nigh impossible to win.
And I think Ricardo and I keep forgetting all these. Bartholomew and I think Bartholomew really despises Ricardo more so like because of what he represents, which is like the life that he doesn't think that he could have.
And the like, president, Leandros, doesn't like rich guy. What's his name?
Beauregard.
Beauregard, yeah, because Beauregard is like... Beauregard's just rich.
Beauregard doesn't take stuff seriously, and he's like buying his grades.
Yeah, but who do Beauregard and who do Leandros like?
Leandros, I think...
We need like one or two more people to like fill out this chart. How many dudes do we got?
We have 6.
Okay, we need to start putting like lines and dislike lines. Who does Big Jeremiah not like?
Big Jeremiah, I think.
Does he not like Beauregard because he's too serious?
Well, Beauregard isn't serious.
No, I'm not Beauregard. Who the fuck is the president? Leandros?
Leandros. Well, I was thinking Leandros, like, acts really disrespectful and rude toward, like, he's very condescending towards Big Jeremiah because he thinks he's, like, stupid. So he's like, oh, but also because, like, he represents, like, the quintessential orc, which is, like, the part of himself that, like, he doesn't think he can become because of his, like, elven heritage.
Yeah.
So, like, there's nuance to it. He's, like, disrespectful because he has internalized orc phobia.
Yeah, he has internalized orc issues.
Yeah.
He cannot.
So
sometimes it's hard to get his wall up, and he's really insecure about it.
So they both dislike each other. Like, Big Jeremiah dislikes Leandros because Leandros is actively rude to him, and Leandros dislikes Big Jeremiah because he represents a lot of like what he thinks he can't attain, which is like the quintessential like orc.
Yeah.
Bartholomew doesn't like Ricardo because like Ricardo I think is like very privileged. And like, you know, he's like, oh, I think that's also why he doesn't like Beauregard. He doesn't like...
I know we keep calling him Rich Evans, but his actual name's Captain Titus.
Bartholomew is like, he's the bad boy, so he has like a tragic backstory.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, his father's a drunk. And so he doesn't like Beauregard and he doesn't like Ricardo because they both like represent the life that he can't have.
Yeah.
Do
we need another dude, or is 6 enough?
We could add one more. I just don't think of. I can't think of any other like archetype. I've mostly said what people don't dislike each other. I don't know which people like each other. Like other than I think Ricardo, Big Jeremiah, like each other. Well, not like each other, but like associate with each other. Ricardo and Beauregard would probably associate with each other because they're both very like high status people.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of them would have interactions with Ricardo just because, like, you know, by nature of being the popular guy.
Yeah. And all the other guys are pseudo-popular or, like, noticed, but, like, not at the same level.
Yeah, like, he's the popular guy. Everyone knows him. Like, he was, like, the, like, prom king. I think... What about the deaths? Because we said that, like, in the beginning, Rich Evans, like, kills, some character, and that character changes depending on your route.
So, for Big Jeremiah, it's his mom and dad, right?
Yes.
Rich Evans kills his mom and dad. For Ricardo...
I think Ricardo, it should just be, like, his alcoholic father. And so, like, it's a bit more, like, mixed emotions, because it's like, oh, he's my dad, and I'm supposed to like him, but at the same time, he was, like, kind of a shitty guy.
Up these camera angles.
For Ricardo... I said Bartholomew before, right? I meant Bartholomew.
Yeah.
Okay, for Ricardo... Maybe, like, his like, former girlfriend? Like, maybe he had a girlfriend before, and she had, like, gone missing.
Yeah, they broke up.
And nobody knew. Yeah. They had broke up and nobody knew what happened to her, and it turns out that, like, Rich Evans killed her.
In a car accident, and no one told him about it because he's so young.